एङ्जाइटी र डरको साख्य भाइ भन्ने मेरी आमालाई कहिलेकाहीँ भन्न मन लाग्छ, डर त मेरो एङ्जाइटीको एउटा बिउ मात्रै हो। डर त मेरो एङ्जाइटीको महासागरको एक थोपा हो। डर त लाग्छ होला अरूसँग, तर यो डरलाई म के संज्ञा दिउँ जुन कहिलेकाहीँ लाग्छ आफैसँग, जुन मेरो शरीरमा सायद अक्सिजनभन्दा बढी प्रवाह हुन्छ, जुन बस्छ मेरो पेटको भुइँमा, मुटुको कोठामा र दिमागको घरमा सुकेको सिंहले, जुन गर्जन्छ मेरो प्रत्येक साससँग र जसले मेरो घाँटीलाई फाँसीको फन्दा पनि निमोड्छ र मेरो शब्दहरूलाई शब्द नबनाई बनाइदिन्छ तिनको छानाबाट तप तप झर्ने पानीका थोपा। त्यसैले तप तप आवाज निकाल्नुभन्दा म आफूलाई त्यस संसारमा धकेल्छु जहाँ म बन्दुकलाई चाहिँ गोलीलाई साइलेन्ट पार्ने साइलेन्सर बनाउँछु, जहाँ म बोलीको साटो मुस्कान दिई काम चलाउँछु, जहाँ म आफ्ना एङ्जाइटीसँग अनायासै मित्रता गाँच्न पुग्छु। जब कोही पनि मान्छेलाई 2 सेकेन्डले आफ्नो बेस्ट फ्रेन्ड बनाइदिने मेरो साथी मैले त अक्वर्डनेसमा पिएचडी गरेको छु भन्छ, उसलाई सोध्न मन लाग्छ अक्वर्डनेसको ए पनि थाहा नभएको तिमीले कहाँबाट ल्यायो होला पिएचडी। पारिवारिक जमघट भएको बेलामा जब म बन्द कोठाभित्र सोसल फोबियासँग कबड्डी खेल्छु तब पहिलो कोठामा म एलियन भए जसरी मेरो प्रसङ्ग उठाइन्छ। नाप्न सक्ने ज्वरो पो रोग यो, व्यथा थाहा नहुने एङ्जाइटी पनि के को रोग भन्ने मेरी काकीलाई भन्न मन लाग्छ। त्यसो भए जलाइदिनुहोस् घरका भित्तामा टाँसिने शिव र गणेशका तस्बिरहरू। यदि अदृश्य चिज वास्तविकता नहुने हो भने सबै आस्तिकहरू एक प्रकारका पागल नै त हुन्। यो सबै जवानीको एउटा फेज त हो नि भन्ने पल्ला घरे काकीलाई त देखाइदिन मन लाग्छ। मसिना धागा सरह हातमा रहने ती रेखाहरू जुन जीवनको उत्तरार्धमा नपुरी झन् गाढा भइजान्छन्। देखाइदिन मन लाग्छ बन्द कोठाभित्रको सिलिङ फ्यानमा झुन्डेर रहेको सरको फन्दा जुन अदबैसे लासमाथि प्रश्न चिन्ह बनी खडा हुन्छ। लाज ग्लानी त साधारण मानिसका साधारण शब्दहरू हुन्। मेरो असाधारण रोगलाई साबित गर्न त सायद मैले पनि एउटा लास नै पर्नुपर्छ। आजकल त मेरो मौनताको उत्तर खोज्नेलाई सुनाइदिन मन लाग्छ मेरो मुटुको धड्कन जुन हेभी ट्रकको हर्नभन्दा पनि चर्को सुनिन्छ र देखाइदिन मन लाग्छ मेरो दिमागभित्रको संसार जहाँ देखिन्छ अदृश्य एङ्जाइटीको अनुपम अवतार। मेरो आँसुहरूको उत्तर खोज्नेलाई त कोरिदिन मन लाग्छ मेरो शरीरभित्रको पीडाको नक्सा र लेखिदिन मन लाग्छ एउटा नयाँ शब्दकोश जहाँ विश्वका सबै अदृश्य रोगहरूको परिभाषा पाइन्छ र जुन सुरु हुन्छ ए फर एङ्जाइटीबाट। धन्यवाद। Responses to my brother. Responses to my brother 1. My brother often wonders out loud how Confucius once called women as small men. He has seen how in family photographs my mother always stands tallest and sometimes her voice is loudest in a room. I'm not sure he notices her trying hard to slouch her shoulders in most natural manner to fit into father's frame. I'm not sure he notices her voice is only loudest when she cries or screams. 2. On days when even layers of makeup do not make me feel like a different person, my brother tells me I can still be anyone I want. He is naive enough not to know that stereotypical straight jackets only come in male sizes, so it does not matter how I feel because I will always be handed down one of size XS, always extra small, extra weak, extra vulnerable. So in the name of protection, they call me goddess and paint me red, but not when the berry color spreads in my skirt. I tell him I will always be a weak girl despite my blood shading its skin every month. I tell him your blood is strong enough to be named as heir right from birth, whereas my bloodline is so thin, it does not get a surname of its own until it mixes with another man. 3. In every family gathering, my brother is life of conversations. From the moment he first saw the world, he was taught to fit machine gun in his throat, so even though his every word may not be heard, they still make an impact, whereas my words are the victim of mass shooting, and even when they're not heard, they are still taught to play victim. When my brother asks, why do you smile more and speak less, I tell him my voice was taught important survival skill of camouflaging into silence. 4. My brother asks, what is the difference really? I don't think I can ever explain to him why at the age of 10 I was taught to cook for 5 people like someday my life would depend on it, whereas at the age of 10 he once bit tomato thinking it was an apple. I don't think I can ever explain to him why we women are taught to build castles out of tears while my brother has been taught to break world of fragile hearts. So still today no one second questions him about the dog he killed. Regret was always a foreign language to him, while his translations were served to me every morning as blessing. So I tell him the only difference I have learned is boys will be boys and girls should be girls. 5. My brother asks, why don't you speak up often about it? I tell him I do, but most often in last pages of notebook, most often in empty halls, most often at night under the open sky when only moon can hear my echoes. When I tell them I write poems, they tell me, of course you do, only the unresponsive paper can be your muse. When I tell them I scream my lungs out in front of crowd of people, they ask, shouldn't you be the one to listen? I am, but I'm so sick of stories of uncles telling me how my father wished my mother's womb would take me back the first time he held me in his hand, of aunties telling me she has to go to someone else's house anyway, of mother telling me how woman's body is more of a temple, of father telling me how sometimes I'm more of an obligation than an offspring, of stories telling me I am a goddess who cannot save herself, that I might be a superhero but my skirt will always be a little too short. 6. I know my parents never wanted it to be this way, but when every of my brother's demand is fulfilled, like was asked at gunpoint and my wishes settle in the back of my throat like where they belong, I understand that being a girl means knowing you have a voice and learning how to choke on it, because the moment a woman opens her mouth, she sets out fire that burns shawls and burqas to the ground, because men may be protector of our bodies, but we are protector of their fragile glass plate like egos, because the moment a woman's eyesight is not aligned on the floor, it causes tremors of earthquake and hurricane. What good are women's eyes anyway if we do not learn to say goodbye to the sky? So when my brother says, why do you make such a big deal sometimes, I hear him saying, how could you be silent for so long? 7. When my brother says, you should feel blessed that mom and dad love you more, understand it as meaning they love you enough to never let you go. They love you enough to cut your wings, they are so sure will entangle, and they do not want you to fall straight right on your face. Instead, they will never let you see the horizon. They tell me they're just trying to protect you. It's what all parents do. But is the golden cage really a protection if all the bird ever really wanted was taste of blue sky? I ask them, is it really love if it does not set me free? I ask them, is it really saving me if it's not done for me? Thank you.
Sure. सुवाङ्गीलाई थ्याङ्क यू आफ्नो पर्सनल स्टोरिजहरू यसरी भन्नु पनि निकै करेज चाहिन्छ अनि यसरी नै हामीले हाम्रो स्पोकन वर्ड पोएट्रीको चाहिँ आफ्नो पर्सनल स्टोरिजहरू बाहिर निकाल्नलाई बाहिर लेख्नलाई इन्करेज गरेर हुन्छौँ स्टुडेन्ट्सहरूलाई जोसँग हामी काम गरेर हुन्छौँ we encourage people to write their own personal stories so that people can know what is happening to them and people can relate hopefully to whatever is happening around. I would also like to take this opportunity to thank Nazma and Action Against Hunger for remembering us to perform at this event. This is so wonderful to see.
My name is Ankit. I'm a poet and a visual artist, and I'll be doing some poems for you as well. I'm just gonna catch my breath. Can you hear me? This is a good microphone. It's cordless and everything. It's a good microphone. It's kind dealer fixes that you can't get anywhere else. So this is me getting my hit, trying to fix myself to compensate for this shaking and all my mumbling. But while I'm busy playing hide and seek roller coasters with my voice, I still like to sing. So I see commotion like it's a bird song for a music box that runs in turbulence. Like each time I speak, my words shape tremor lines in my sentences, and the rupture scale can measure the amount of times I rip myself a new silence. Because sometimes the quiet is a square-inch field, A circular mile, fertile, where questions grow yellow and green like daffodils, right up to my chin. They murmur and whisper. Sometimes when the wind hits them just right at an angle, they even whistle. Sometimes they scream. But if you duck down, huddle up close, sit down, squat, and crawl under my caterpillar skin, you can hear stories. Rumors, more like myths, of caterpillar ladies with butterfly wings who say that maybe one day you too can sprout. Colors like blueprints for flotation schematics that will give you flight so you can butterfly your way out of this. Or if you think that metamorphosis is a drug that you can't afford yet, just chill from flower to flower until autumn rolls in, whistling a tune to a candy trail, all crunch and no sweet. Like sometimes the quiet is colossal, sentinel like a ghost ship, iron skeleton inside with really good acoustics. And the captain of the ship is indisposed, tied to a baby grand in the hall, plays piano music from 7 till 6, and the music is loud and clear. The song sticks to your skull like a make-believe bugle tuned to a siren's call, playing woodwind catch up with storms, leave tensions into debris the size of tsunamis, on the edges of some questions and apologies. Some knife-bite conversations, machete question marks, gunpowder gripe, and excuses leave gashes. Like open invitation floodgates, let these garish ghost guests come in. Come as overbearing operatic singing funeral procession, migraines for the dead weddings. See, sometimes the quiet is just detuning all of this noise. It is invisible and deafening. Playing Heisen House on your headphones does not make you leave, it is persistent. It sticks around till the end of a Skype call with your sister while you chirp wildly hallucinating. Belcher, white noise encrypted, abbreviated body language, hoping that someone will tune in. Decipher the smoke signal breath. See, I'm not just burning my bones for heat, it is friction against everything. All the songs I never sang, not because I never got to, but because I did not want to. I want to sing this one like a prayer. It's got nothing to do with religion, but brings out like soulful ammunition, because I am tired of blaming my shaky knees and loose vocal cords and earthquakes that have long gone past. See, I'm not haunted, it's just ghost vibrations rattling the inside of my guts, my xylophone ribs, but I still like to sing. And I've been working on something good. Do you want to hear it? Here it goes. Can you hear me now? Thank you. In the UK, and I've been back for a while. And when I went there, it was like I was trying to get somewhere and leave everything behind. So the next poem, it's called Point B. So over 500 days and 5,000 miles ago, he packed up all his stuff so he could leave his baggage behind. Thought, that's how it works. Until he met a girl with a backpack strapped to her feet and all the words of where she came from. She'd rest her palm as she'd speak. She'd say, home is where I stop next. So from the point of where he's going to, from where he's at, rust laid to the soul fed, this jigsaw puzzled person, he loses his shit. Of all the lives he's died upon and the ones that have got lived. Like a wandering tree got mocked at beak point by a woodpecker fleet, who robbed him for all his years in skin, left him bark naked and beat. He says, home is not here. It's the inside of the bus going a good distance from point A to point C. Home is point B. It's not always where the heart is, because sometimes these things lead phantom rhythms, y'all. Miles, yours, and unlived lives away. Attached with memory strings to a bed, a building, a person, always tangling, trembling. Yet his courage is the size of a peanut, rolling like a baseball down Bristol to Bagmati when looked at through a telescope from Mars. The length of his awkward is exactly that long. He says he wants to live his life like a verb, simple, present, and continuously redeeming, making pretty out of all the ugly. That's why he beats himself up so much, says he's addicted to it. He knows that loneliness is just learning to be kind to yourself. And at times he's such a saint to himself. Even when his holy loneliness creeps up to him like church incense in a cemetery smog, when his sister asks him, how are you, stupid? Instead of saying, I love you, I miss you, I need you, he goes, I'm okay. Okay, I am okay. He says he doesn't want pity or sympathy. He's got that shit stuffed in the freezer when all the punches are out. The punches on wood grain, they hurt. And self-loathing does not have an expiry date, y'all. You can hate yourself anytime you want. He knows that. So, know what he does next? He goes ahead and gets this indoor plant. He says it's ventilation for the room, but I know the shit runs deeper. He calls her Vera, like aloe vera. It's not just because he's lazy, he just thinks that she calls him being, like human being, and he likes that. He says, watch me now in short bursts while I ride this out. See, I am beautiful in training. And on the spot where all the punches, the baggage, the freezer, and Vera have been, there's a fine impression on the carpet, y'all. He says, this is point B, and he is simple, present, and perfectly redeemed, searching for a new verb. Thank you. Weird time for me, and I used to talk to myself a lot back then, and I don't do so much now. So this is a letter to my 17-year-old self, because I miss talking to him, and yeah. So, dear 17-year-old Sanket, it's been a while since we've talked. Back then, you wanted me to be the me that you wanted to be when you were a kid, a dream of being the me that you'll be when you turn 70. You wanted to be a dreamscaper, storyteller, full-time shaman, part-time astronaut, and maybe even a poet. Whatever that means. And here I am. 23 years of dying to live like we planned to, and I am not nearly any of those things yet. But tonight I've got enough change for pani puri, and that is pretty sweet and very spicy. You used to talk all night like you were a raging optimist, going, all this is just sleepwalking. You used to say tonight my vices are familiar, like languages etched in my face. Nepali, English, semi-anime, part Portuguese. Going, my god, that asswipe. Isa merda da baka. Telling yourself, oh you donkey asswipe. Unshit yourself, idiot. But we don't listen to ourselves much, do we? And I still practice this out-of-place, awkwardly existingness, even though I have bad posture. It shows sometimes in the way I bend away from confrontation. You all be chill with a capital C. On most days I am the alphabet, but some days I bend all the way to O. Or are you even worth it? Or an exclamation mark with no point to it. We do this to ourselves. We incite these nights of existential crisis that fill us with equal parts purpose and good old despair. And each time you say, tomorrow I won't need this, I promise, but tonight I am all out of breath. Smoke drunk and gasping for any kind of faith like fresh air. So we're just getting high and drunk back then. We were burning like a funeral pyre made of incense sticks, still wishing that leave cigarette bursts the size of our birthmark that extends all the way up to death. Like a life was a leftover outbreak, that some god's nicotine rush that everyone tried to stop out, but couldn't get the job done. You were always pretty, man. 17-year-old post-punk mohawk, poke the clown nose, pimple patch, mugshot. Damn. I know you wanted us to be stoic like statues with sealed tear ducts. So we wake up and chant, get over it, as you go to the top of that hill so that no one could hear how loudly you were breathing. Contemplating if autopsies reveal the asthmatic routines of daily lives. And if they did, if we just end up being a choked out tail end of a goldfish, waiting for arms like fishing poles to reel us into an empty bin because we could not swim. I cannot swim. Not really, but some days I've got blisters on my toes, bitter gourd, Tito Corella fingers, so I am kicking, floating at the surface, just, but still. And tomorrow we will be happy, probably. But today I am breathing at the top of my lungs, and we are 23, so thank you, man, because all of this is good enough. Thank you.
Kathmandu. And we also have a YouTube channel called What Voice Nepal. If you want to hear more of our poems, besides, I have to take my notebook because I don't remember what I did. my memory is a little bit weak, so I don't tend to remember a lot of things. And poems are one of those. So this is called Just Another Regular Day. This is one of those days. If I lived on the 22nd floor of a building, I would take the stairs just to pass the time. This is one of those days I watch the clock on the wall constantly moving, going nowhere for hours on end. This is one of those days I order home delivered food just to hear someone ring the bells of my empty house. This is one of those days, tossing and turning and rolling over and over in my bed does not seem to make it any warmer. This is one of those days. All I wish for someone to really talk to me, and suddenly the voices in my head feel like the genies of a lamp trying to grant my wish. This is one of those days. I feel like the brakes of a car that people step on time and time again just to save themselves. I feel like the filter of a cigarette that is thrown away because that is a little too bad for health. This is one of those days. I write my suicide note one more time and tear it away because my 500 an hour therapist tells me I cannot afford to think of dying anymore. This is one of those days when hope is a vest full of bombs of which wrong wires have already been cut. Happiness is winning a lottery of sleeping pills with a cyanide dot. Love is just a fall into oblivion, and death is this heartbeat knocking on my chest since the day you left. Thank you. मेरो कोठामा एउटा केटा छ। ऊ गिटार बजाउँछ अनि चिच्याएर गाउँछ। चाहे उसले लेखेको गीत पुरा होस् या आधी, चाहे समय दिउँसो होस् या 3 बजे राति ऊ सुनाउँछ। घर आएको साथीलाई सुनाउँछ, लुगा सुकाउन निस्केकी छिमेकीलाई सुनाउँछ, टोलटोलका कुकुर र भ्यागुतालाई सुनाउँछ। सुन्न मन लागे नि नलागे नि सबलाई आफ्नो अडियन्स बनाउँछ। जे होस् गाउन चाहिँ लास्टै मन पराउँछ। मेरो कोठामा एउटा केटा छ। जसरी इन्टरनेट खोल्दाखेरि फेसबुक नखोली बस्नै सकिन्न नि, त्यसरी ऊ मुङको दालमोट देखेपछि नखाई बस्नै सक्दैन। कहिलेकाहीँ त आधा किलो दालमोट एक्लै लगेर ढोका लाएर खान्छ, अनि पाद्न चाहिँ ढोका खोलेरै पान्छ। मेरो कोठामा एउटा केटा छ। ऊ रात परेपछि घोरिन थाल्छ, भोलिका बारेमा आत्तिन थाल्छ। ठुला ठुला सपनाहरू छन् जुन आज नै पुरा भएनन्, त्यसैले आफैलाई धिक्कार्न थाल्छ। सिलिङमा टाँसिएका प्लास्टिकका ताराहरू हेर्दै आफैलाई प्रश्न गर्छ, जसरी मैले मेरो आकाश अँध्यारो छैन भन्दै आफैलाई झुक्क्याउन यी ताराहरू यहाँ टाँसेको छु, त्यसरी नै कतै मैले मेरो भविष्य अँध्यारो छैन भन्दै आफैलाई झुक्क्याउन मनमा सपनाहरू टाँसिरहेको त छैन। मेरो कोठामा एउटा केटा छ। ऊ कहिलेकाहीँ इन्टरनेटमा सेयर गरिएका कुकुरको स्याड भिडियोज हेर्दा रुन्छ। मुटु थामिने तर आँसु नथामिने गीतहरू सुन्दा रुन्छ। मेरो कोठामा एउटा केटा छ। ऊ कहिलेकाहीँ चाहिँ कारण खोजी खोजी रुन्छ। आफूसँग बिताएका पल बिर्सने रोग लागेकी उसकी प्रेमिकालाई सम्झन्छ अनि त्यो एम्नेसियाको कारण आफै भित्र खोज्दै रुन्छ। 52 वर्ष पुगेका, संसारदेखिका दुःख सुख सब भोगेका उसका जेठा ठुलुबाले आत्महत्या गरेपछि त्यो मृत्यु र उसको आफ्नै जीवनको कारण खोज्दै रुन्छ। जब उसलाई दिएका बाचाहरू यसै टुटाइन्छन् तब सोध्छ किन ती बाचाहरू खुत्रुके जे भएछन्, किन होला माटोले बनेका सस्तोमै बिकेका सजिलै टुटेका होलान् भन्दै कारण खोज्दै रुन्छ। सायद भित्ताका कुना कुनामा कारण भेट्दो हो, त्यसैले कुनामै गएर रुन्छ। सायद सिरानी मुनतिर धेरै कारण भेट्दो हो, त्यसैले सिरानीमै मुख छोपेर रुन्छ। मेरो कोठामा एउटा केटा छ। कहिलेकाहीँ राति 3 बजे कारण भेट्दैन क्यारे गिटार बजाउँछ चिच्याएर गाउँछ सबलाई सुनाउँछ कोही त सुन्देऊ Thank you so much for having us. हाम्रो आजको लागि त्यति हो